Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Age0211, here with another AEW Dynamite review. This time for the episode April 21st, 2021. Was a quality episode of Dynamite. Not the best show, not the best episode of Dynamite by any means, but it was a quality show. Decent, had some good parts. The majority of it was, say, interviews and so matches. We'll be talking about the interview of The Pinnacle by JR. We also got an in-ring promo that was technically an interview of the Inner Circle. And apparently next week we're going to get a parlay between The Pinnacle and the Inner Circle leading up before the Blood and Guts match on May 5th. But all in all, go over all today. So thank you all. If you're new to the podcast, like and subscribe. Thank you, and let's get into the review. So the show started off with Hangman and Adam Page versus Ricky Starks. This was a highly anticipated matchup between number one ranked Hangman and Ricky Starks. Both are talented. Both are really good in the ring. This match, though, for whatever reason, it just missed. And I'm not sure if it was an off night between the two or for whatever reason the styles don't mesh well together. Excuse me. But in theory, it did what it needed to do, basically, which was to give both these guys a light and keep the momentum for Hangman going forward as he continues to be the number one ranked contender. So, starting off the match, they were getting a feel for each other, and Hangman, he missed on his second rope clothesline, but he followed up with another. And with the dive to the outside, getting to the advantage. He landed a pump handle, fallaway slam for near fall. Starks, he hung Hangman on the ropes to get the advantage back, and then late in the match, in what was a weird spot, Starks went for a powerbomb, but almost dropped Hangman on his head. But eventually, he got him up, and when they set out powerbomb for a near fall, then they were feuding on the top rope, and Hangman hit a avalanche fallaway slam, then a big lariat for a 2 count, and then Page went for the buckshot lariat, but Starks moved out of the way, hit a spear, nice looking spear on Hangman for a near fall, and then Hangman with a nice headlock takeover, and then a modified bulldog choke with the ankle, because Taz, who was on commentary, alluded to the bad ankle of Starks. It was almost a modified STF, but instead of usual, it was like a bulldog either way, innovative finish by Hangman. Starks tapped out for the win. All in all, good match. But after all, so Hook, who was at ringside after Hangman was distracted by Taz, jumped Hangman from behind, and then Brian Cage came out to attack Hangman, and then the Dark Order came out to save him. And I mean, it wasn't a brawl, so thank goodness for that, but still, this whole messiness is whatever. But next week, we're getting Brian Cage versus Hangman. Well, it should be a quality match. So then, Pentagon. Well, first off, I want to say that they're building up Hangman. And once again, they've alluded to him as the number one contender. It might be a little quick because Double or Nothing is next month. And All Out is not till the end of August. So I'm curious because there's not really anyone lined up for Kenny Omega. So still intriguing to see what they do for Double or Nothing. So then we move to the next match. It was Pentagon versus Trent. I say it like that because he has a question mark at the end of his name, which I don't know why. It sounds odd. But it is what it is. This Trent's first singles match since returning in that Arcade Anarchy match a couple weeks ago. So Trent, this was an okay match. Like I said, Trent's first match back. Pentagon, he's been treading the waters more of singles action. And he was there with, I forgot, I don't know his last name, but Alex something of the Spanish commentary. And so this is a fun match. So in a scary spot, Trent hit a pile driver on Penta on the ring apron. And then he hit a spear on the outside. Then after, so it was a messy ending. So Alex, he took the mic. He was trying to fend off Trent because he looked like he was about to finish Penta. And then he mocked Trent and mocked Trent's mom, Sue. So that prompted Trent to get a chair. And then he went after Alex in the ring. And then Orange Cassidy, who's at ringside for Trent, went for a stare-off with Alex, but then Penta super kicked Orange Cassidy, and then at the end, Alex hit Trent with the microphone, and then Penta followed off with the package pile driver for the win. Penta gets a much needed win, singles win, because he has not been really featured or hasn't really got momentum in a while as a singles competitor. So it's good. It's good that he has a good win. Trent, we know the best friends will be a foreskin in the tag team mixture, but as a singles competitor, it's good to see Trent back. Good outcome, but kind of messy ending. So then we go to JR's interview of the Pinnacle. So they were backstage in some area, and it was JR and the Pinnacle without Tully Blanchard. MJF said he was devising up the plans for I got Double or Nothing and the Blood and Guts. They mixed up, but May 5th for Blood and Guts. Excuse me. So now, what I liked about this segment, besides MJF's promo, was the fact that Wardlow got some more time to speak, and we got some more promo work out of Wardlow, which nice to see. So Wardlow talked about how Jericho won the greatest all time, and he had no one greatest promos all time, and he had no problem rolling his mouth until the name Wardlow came out of his mouth, and you knew that he messed up. So MJF talked about how Tully was devising the plans for Blood and Guts, and then Wardlow took out a gift from Tully that was a new silk scarf, because apparently it's silk season. So MJF gifted a new scarf from Tully and Wardlow. So MJF was talking about how Jericho's placement and his words and his place in AEW, and he gives him an F for that. So MJF talked about how when Jericho talked about in his Immortal promo that he needs to have baby steps, how he needs to be better than Pierre Avalon and Michael Nakazawa. So MJF brings up his victory over Jericho at Full Gear. So he says, well, I beat you, so where does that put me on the totem pole? And MJF said, yeah, I'm a mark, but not for you. I'm a mark for your spot. And that you want to prove it, bring your family. against mine at Blood Guts and beat us. But just know that we're the Pinnacle, the best group in AEW. And when you're in the Pinnacle, you're always on top. So, again, good promo by MJF. Good to hear some words from Wardlow. Not much to say. I just cannot wait for this match. And it should be very interesting because they said it was going to be a one-match event. And I don't think it's going to last the whole 2 hours, the one match. But, we'll see. Maybe they'll add some promos. Maybe they'll add an additional match to fill in the whole 2 hours. But we'll see. They brought ticket prices in the show. So perhaps we may get some more fans present for the event, which for a match of this magnitude, you would need to have more fans than what they show at Daly's place. So we'll see. So then we had the first of two title matches tonight. We had Conti versus Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's Championship. This is a fine match. Conti, the number one contender, has gotten better, proved over the last couple weeks. It's just so, in the back of my mind, watching this match, it was kind of a buzzkill for me because I still remember, and I bet most people did watching this match, was how when Conti lost to the Bunny, and ultimately, yes, okay, she got hit with the candlestick and yada yada. She still lost. And I mean, she got her win back, but still, it just kind of buzzkilled it a little for me. And ultimately, knowing that it's going to be Shida versus Britt Baker at Double or Nothing. And after this match, it was kind of no. But was a fine match. Falcon Arrow by Shida for 2. Conti hit the tie KO for a near fall, and then Shida hit the Katana knee strike for the win. I mean, Excalibur was bringing up a bunch of names for a bunch of different moves, which confused me. But nonetheless, Shida wins as expected. And then after Britt Baker came out on the stage and pointed to the Titantron, signaling she's now the number one contender. And eyeing Shida, and again, that is the match to make for Double or Nothing. And looks like we're going to get Britt Baker, soon to be AEW World Champion. Women's Champion, excuse me. So then we had the Inner Circle interview / promo and ring. This was I mean, Jericho, he had that moral promo this week. It was kind of the same, sort of, but Santana and Jake Hager add some words and some differences to this promo. So Hager actually had straws out for the Pinnacle, saying that when they're done with the Pinnacle, that they'll be sipping their meals through a straw. So Santana said that they'll find out how big their hearts are at Blood Guts. So that was pretty much it. Jericho had kind of the same stuff he said in his other promo. That was pretty much it. And they ended with the middle finger salute. And there was that. And next week we got a parlay, as I noted earlier. A parlay between the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle. So that should be interesting. So next we have Billy Gunn versus QT Marshall. This felt like an match because, I mean, Nightmare Factory again, or the Nightmare Family for the Factory is what they're calling it. So, I mean, Ogogo, after his debut last week, it kind of dimmed down my excitement for the Factory because it's like, okay, Ogogo needs more work. Camarato, it looks like he's ready. Solo, maybe. But still, this was okay. I mean, Billy Gunn, surprising for his age, still looks as good as he's ever looked. In his 50s, I think they said. But so there was chaos on the outside of the gun club and the factory. Marshall hit a pile driver on Gunn for near fall. Then a go-go came out and his body shot on Billy Gunn, and then eventually Marshall hit the QT cutter for the win. I mean, Marshall, I thought maybe he'd look different. I mean, as a heel, he still looks And then a go-go, I mean, that's his body shot. I mean, I get it, he's a boxer, but this is pro wrestling, and we're looking for pro wrestling moves, not boxing moves. But I guess it did what it needed to do. Afterwards, Dustin came out and broke an old chair over Comrado's head, and Comrado didn't flinch, and then referees broke it up. So, I mean, so and so, but whatever. So, next we had the Elite. Excuse me. They were shown in their trailer, their VIP trailer. And I mean, earlier they were shown being filmed by Brandon Cutler going into the trailer. So they have Brandon Cutler as their personal photographer. So, funny touch. So, they were shown talking in their trailer. Nick Jackson brought up how it's all elite wrestling, not all Mox and Kingston wrestling. So they brought that up, and then every time they continued to talk, we started to hear a horn honking. And then the sort of got louder and louder. So Don Callis talked about how Kenny Omega is soon to be the new Impact World Champion as well. Because Saturday, or it's either Saturday or Sunday, but Kenny Omega will be at Rebellion, facing Rich Swann for the Impact World Championship title for title. So, interesting to see how that match fares. And then, again, we heard the honking, and they looked out of a window looking who it was, and then we cut to the outside of the trailer, and in this big pickup truck, it's Moxley and Kingston. So Moxley is blaring his horn as loud as possible, and then they ram into one of the sides of the trailer, and they come out with a pipe and go into the trailer to try to find the Elite, but them escaping as fast as a roadrunner, they were nowhere to be found in the trailer. So or it could have been filmed earlier, and yeah, but then so Moxley threw his pipe in the window of the trailer, and they went off. So clearly the feud is still going on, and we're getting Moxley still as a team with Kingston, which I'm all right with especially after seeing this. It works as them as a team, and I wouldn't be surprised if at Double or Nothing we get the Young Bucks versus Moxley and Kingston, and that would be a good match. Of course, Moxley and Kingston have to build himself up in the ranks, but that would be a good match. Now, on the downside, I'm still looking at this, and I'm just still feeling bad for Butcher and the Blade, because they were sided with Eddie Kingston, and now they're pretty much doing nothing with the Hardy family office. And I guess that's just the way it works. And there's a lot of teams in AEW. So yeah, but all in all, good segment. So then we had Powerhouse Hobbs next versus Christian Cage. This was, I think we kind of expected how this match was going to fare. Powerhouse Hobbs, the young guy, uh, the big, physically talented Will, or however you want to call him, Will Hobbs, Powerhouse Hobbs. First Christian Cage, the savvy veteran. Now, this is his second match in AEW. First against Frankie Kazarian, which was a good match, but also Christian looked gassed in that match. This match, I mean, look, we all know about Christian's debut, how it was in AEW, how it was flopped, how it was overblown, how the expectations coming in this will hinder him throughout his AEW career. And this match was okay. It was more methodical than it was with Frankie. I mean, it was a spine buster by Hobbs for a 2. Frost slash by Christian for a near fall. And then Hobbs went for his he had him in a running power slam position and same stampede and him off the turnbuckle, but Hobbs took a little time showboating. Next thing you know, Christian pops off and hits the kill switch. 1, 2, 3. And Christian Cage 2-0 in AEW. I mean, the other thing is because his debut was so overblown and botched that matches like these that could have been saved for AEW Dark are going to be on Dynamite because it was Christian Cage and the way they projected him. And I like Christian, and I mean, it's another win for Christian, but at the same time, it's a loss for a young powerhouse Hobbs. And then afterwards, Ricky Starks came down to check on Will Hobbs. I mean, it doesn't really matter, Will Hobbs, Powerhouse Hobbs. Starks came out to check on Hobbs, and Cage and Starks had been able to stare down. Could that be the next match for Cage? Perhaps. It's just odd because it's going to be full of criticism, like this match was. Coming, Christian, the savvy veteran in his 40s, coming in, going over young talent to go up through the ranks and It's just difficult. I mean, just difficult to say. So, it is what it is. So then we got to the main event. Darby Allin for Strong Boy. This was a heck of a way to end the show. They talked about how this was a fan's choice of a match, how it turned out, how it was to be decided Jungle Boy for Darby Allin. I mean, this kind of random, but still, it was a good match. Two young guns. I mean, Jungle Boy is really good. He and Luchasaurus are a team on the rise, which they need fans back. That's the ultimate. They need a live crowd back. And Darby Allin was with Sting. He was there ringside. Didn't do much till after match. Whatever. Getting into the match. Jungle Boy had the advantage as most Darby Allin matches where he's the crashes, tell me, and then he comes back. Jungle Boy got some good offense in. Tiger suplex for a near fall. A stunner by Darby for a near fall. And then in a bit of a scary spot because of where they were really near the ropes. But Jungle Boy went for a Poison Rana on Darby, and I'm guessing because the timing was off, instead of Jungle Boy getting his legs around Darby's head, it was more by scissors, like Excalibur said, and they flipped over and they were very near the ropes. Very near the ropes. So, scary spot. But luckily, everyone's okay. Jungle Boy then hit Suicida to Darby on the outside. Then, Jungle Boy had a very close near fall after a lariat, brainbuster, and a diving back elbow combination that was close. And then Darby retained after a exchange, and then Darby landed the Last Supper on Jungle Boy for the win. Afterwards, Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky came out to attack Darby Allin. And then Lance Archer came out to attack and kind of save Darby for himself. And then Sting came back out with his bat and fended off Page and Scorpio Sky. It's just some weird combustible elements. You got Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. They've been glued together as a tag team, which, I mean, Ethan Page. I mean, I think that they're just still waiting on Josh Alexander for his contract to run out with Impact so he can join Ethan Page in AEW. But these elements with them, Archer, and Sting is kind of bizarre because it should be just Archer and Darby Allin for the TNT title. But they're adding Ethan Page and Sky into the mix, basically, I guess, because they have nothing else for them. And it's bizarre, but it is what it is. So, besides the ending, there's that. Good main event to end the show. I mean, again, quality episode, Dynamite, not the best, but quality. So, now next week, interesting. We got the parlay. We got Hangman, Adam Page versus Brian Cage. Page versus Cage, yes. And then we got the Factory versus the Nightmare Family. So, another okay match. I'm mostly intrigued for the parlay next week. And then eventually Blood and Guts in 2 weeks. But I hope you guys enjoy it. I did as well. Thank you again. Like and subscribe. See you all next week. Peace. Be safe. Love y'all.